because Unpublished is about being imperfect, but putting it out there. And people want to actually see and experience and feel the journey with you. So that's why you is grabbing your beverage of choice and you go hang out with me on this. This is probably the longest video that I'm putting on my channel thus far. Welcome to Unpublished, a work in progress audio podcast by Denise Renee. Here I share past unpublished creative works, current writing projects, still in process, and whatever whimsical musings or deep thoughts I have about the creative process. If this is your vibe, then keep listening as I get into today's content. Welcome to Unpublished episode number 4, and it's going to be a video episode. So I'm sitting here and recording some other stuff, so I was like, you know what, lights are up, we're just going to go ahead and film an intro to this piece of content. And I'm sharing it on Unpublished because I feel like I just really didn't have another place for it on my channel just yet. Like, it's just my channel is just like teaching. And then I've got this podcast, and then I have another podcast that's coming out very, 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 very soon. And it doesn't quite fit that. So I was like, you know what? Let's put it in the unpublished category. It's a conversation that I had a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago. And let me take a look at the date here. The date was, I'm looking down at you can't even see. Okay, behind the scenes, right? In my little my camera phone, I'm sitting in front of the window. That's one of my lights. I promise you, I have every light in here on. That's one of my soft boxes. The other soft box and the overhead light. And it's still dark in here. Like, the videos that I recorded earlier are like shadowy. And I'm like, what else do I do? But anyway, listen, those of you people who are like good lighting people and you know how to light melanated skin, I need lighting help. Okay. But anyway, so this conversation was a conversation that happened on Facebook Live with one of my really good business besties. Her name is Nina Oglesby, and she is a PR strategist. And she invited me onto her Facebook Live on April 29th, 2024. And we talked about a lot. She wanted to just kind of share me with her audience, and she asked me a whole range of questions. I mean, I said, don't give me a question. We're just going to talk, because our conversations on a regular basis are just so rich and so, I don't know. Anyway, let me just give you a little bit of a rundown, and I will put in the description box, I will put some timestamps so that you know how to jump around if you want to jump around. But, honestly, this is that kind of conversation where, you know what, you need, holla. You just need to pull up your favorite beverage, okay? I have like 4 or 5. I have a little army of cute little sparkly rainbowish kind of tumblers. Filled with water, baby. I drink water all day long. But grab your beverage, grab your coffee if you like your coffee. Grab your tea, your hot chocolate, which I'm a little partial to, but it's May and it's getting hot. So we're going to have to pack away the hot chocolate until October. But yeah, break it out, because we was going for a minute. So relax, okay? Relax. We're going to be here for a minute. But what do we talk about? So the first 15, 17 minutes, we did have some technical issues. However, I eventually get on. But I didn't cut it out because there were some things that Nina said, and I thought that they were, really good. So it's like in between her fussing at the cameras and fussing at Facebook, she dropped a few gems. And honestly, all the way throughout, we just dropped gems all the way throughout this conversation. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. But I finally get on camera about 17, almost 18 minutes in. And we talked about a blog post that I had dropped either that day or the day before, something like that, where, well, you'll hear about it. So then I have a mommy moment, because we were doing this in the evening and it was time for my son to go to bed, and he was still on his Oculus, and I was like, bruh, it's time to go. And then what do we get into? We got into the art of, not really the art, but just the fact that being an artist, being a creator, I'm a musician, I'm a writer. Those things are expensive. If you're an artist, it's expensive to get the things that you need and to do what you need to do. Baby, I showed you my ghetto lighting setup. These things ain't cheap. Like I probably need like a more expensive lighting rig, and I probably need a good camera. Right now, my phone is doing the thing. All right. What else did we talk to? We talked about the most important things that writers or creators can do. Writing, we talked about writing a book, how writing a book is a long-term strategy. Oh, and Nina asked me a great question about getting over this feeling of perfection. Like you have to be perfect before you put something out, before you publish a book, before you do anything. And I kind of went in on divorcing perfection. So if you struggle with feeling like everything's got to be perfect before you put it out, I tell you my take on that. And I mean, look, do we have perfection going on back here? No, ma'am. No, sir. But we getting it in. All right. We doing it. And literally that's why I put this here on Unpublished, because Unpublished is about being imperfect, but putting it out there. And people want to actually see and experience and feel the journey with you. So that's why you is grabbing your beverage of choice and you go hang out with me on this. This is probably the longest video that I'm putting on my channel thus far. But anyway, what else did we talk about? All right. I talked about how much it costs to self-publish, like how much I think you should set aside as a budget or be prepared to invest to self-publish. The amount might make your eyes go, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's going to be okay. You don't necessarily have to have that amount, but I think it's a good benchmark. Anyway, listen and you'll find out why. Ooh, we also got into why you cannot compare yourself to other authors in your field. Okay, so if you're in a business field, a business space, and let's say I always go to the example of accountants. There's 159,000 other accountants. That's fine, but what you do is something a bit unique. Who you speak to is a different audience. So, just listen, okay? Because it's down there. Then what else do I talk about? Ooh, let's also talk about the power of finding your audience or your tribe or those people who are going to rock with you. I want to rock with you all night. Not that way, but they're going to rock with you through a 2-hour video. All right. We also talk about the power of key relationships to grow your brand and to sell more books, and how relationship building can make sales easier. So, and then rounding it out with some closing thoughts. So I really hope that you find this conversation interesting, helpful. You get to see a little bit of my crazy personality. Maybe you get to understand a little bit more about how I think and approach creativity, how I approach writing, how I approach my business as a writing coach, editor, ghostwriter, all of those things. Yeah, that's all I got to say. So dig in, enjoy, let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you in the next episode of Unpublished. And now, without further ado, here we go.
Okay, let's see if I can get Denise Renee in here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to get Denise Renee in here. And let's... Have you ever spent time with someone and they're just so brilliant, they're so dope, and you're like, I don't want to keep them a secret? It reminds me of like church, right? One of my favorite people who inspire me all the time is Tamika Cole. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And what always inspires me is that her and a few friends, like they're so infectious and so excited about always sharing the good news of what's happening in their community. And it reminds me of not keeping something secret, right? That's why I had to pick the brain of this genius person, Denise Renee. So I need to let her come on here because I need to share her genius with the world. She's a book writing coach, content creator, mom, and so much more. And she has a heart for helping people publish their books. But it's so much bigger than that. And I think that's the conversation that's often missing, or those are the conversations. So I'm going to let her know that we are live because she is the star of the hour. Hello. And I don't want her to miss it. Yanni. Okay, I might have to text her another way. And this is our first time doing this together. So trust and believe there will be more times to come. Yanni. I'll give her a few minutes to come in here. Yeah, okay, let's see. Hey, I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to change this from just friends to public. That way I can guest request, share broadcast. Let's see. Okay, yes. And she's already, now listen, this is the thing. There's something from someone who's telling you something and like they've never done it themselves, but they're still going after it. And then there's the person who's actually done it. And I think what impresses me about her journey is that she's done it as a single mom. She's done it as someone who's had an education and background in education. She's a teacher, so she truly knows her stuff. And I got the chance of working with her because one of the things was when I was younger, I'll never forget it. I was about 8 years old and my mom and my dad had a church convocation, and Prophet Mosley, I'll never forget this. That man had never, ever been in my house ever before. And he saw me when I was 8 years old and asked me to come up to the altar. And of course, it's a hotel lobby or a hotel conference room. So there really wasn't any altar, but he asked me to come up. And he told me that, he said, I see you on your top bunk bed. This man had never been to my house. Never. He said, I see you on your top bunk bed. He said, I see you journaling and I see you crying and being misunderstood. And he said, those tears that are crying and sorrow, he said, those are going to be journal entries. And those journal entries will become New York best-selling books. Now, mind you, I'm 8 years old. What in the world? I barely know what's happening in the 3rd or 4th grade, 2nd grade, whatever. I can't even remember what grade. I think 8th grade. 3rd grade. Like, I can barely know about that stuff. And here this man is telling me these things. So I'm like, how in the world am I going to get from what he's telling me to writing this book? And this is exactly why Denise Renee's, her voice and the things that she shares is so powerful. So when I knew that I was going to write a book, I reached out and I told her, I really want to write a book. I need help. And let me tell you something. When you're writing a book, but then it don't sell, you feel like, what's the point? Why did I even write the book if it's not going to sell? And that's why I couldn't wait. Guys, like when I say, okay, I have questions and things that I have to ask her, like trust and believe. So I'm just waiting. Hi, Cheryl. Hi. Oh, Miss Kathy's on here. Miss Kathy is Pastor Amanda's mom. Hey, and Cheryl goes to my church and she is family. Like, hey, guys. I'm so glad you're joining me. I don't know if any of you ever felt led to write a book or wanted to, and you thought of having passive income, but you also thought of having a legacy and being able to leave your imprint and obey your calling. Because, we know that the world, they have learned to write books as a way of influencing, swaying people's minds, but also because of sales, right? We're in a time where everybody and their mama have something to sell. So they have figured out that books are quick systems for selling products. But if it's so much more than that for you, and you know that telling a story and making sure you leave that on the table in the stage of life so that you don't die full. If you know that that's something for you, then you don't want to lose your seat or your place at this table because it's set for you. The conversation is set, and we're about to really dig into some questions that you've always wanted to ask. I know sometimes we see people say, Natalia, hola, ella es mi amiga. Hola, chica. So many times we have questions and things, but let's be honest. Nowadays, if you try to even ask one person a question, they want to sell you a whole consultation. And I am not about missing out on that. I feel like everything is supposed to be a blessing. And truthfully, I feel like I don't know why we're weird about buying and selling. That's everywhere in the world around us. Everywhere. Diane, you go to Kroger, you're going to buy and sell. You go to ShopRite, you're going to buy and sell. And even if you don't think, oh, I'm going in the ShopRite with my wallet, how am I selling? Well, guess what? If there's a can of soup and there's a dent and you want that can of soup, you're going to say to the manager, I want to get this can of soup 20% off. Or if you're at TJ Maxx and there's a sweater that you know is lit or Fleek and you want that sweater, don't pretend like we don't try to sway people in the direction of something we want. So I don't know why people are so weird. I think it's because we don't want to have pushy energy. But pushy energy and assertiveness and being honest about where you are two different things. And that's why I can't wait. I don't know what's going on. And Denise Renee, I'm hoping she can see this. Diane, I have Denise Renee, writing coach. I know you guys follow each other now. Natalia, I don't know if you've seen, I've been trying to share more Spanish content and show the world. Okay, she says, hey, oh, she's just been listening. See, I'm going to beat her. She is supposed to be on the stage talking, and listen. Okay, let me try to see how I can pull her up. Y'all going to have to help me have some grace and some mercy. Bring them up to stage. So it says I could bring, let me see. So it's letting me bring everybody else up to stage, but why is it not letting me bring? See if you can leave another comment for me, Denise Renee, so I can see. And if not, if you guys will bear with me, come off and then we'll come back on. Please, you don't want to miss this. I'm going to ask questions. And like I said, these are questions that I'm getting a chance to excavate and draw out of her in front of you, free of charge. Nobody's trying to, like literally. Okay, hold on. She said comment. Oh, okay, let me see. It says comment, but why does it not let me? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could do it. Okay, she said comment. I don't know if this is going to be right. Because I don't know, I don't know if you guys, I don't know. You said comment. What does that mean? I don't know if you guys are like me, but I know God's called me to be an author, and I've been blessed to be public speaking and be paid for it. And oh no, I was asking you to, you're funny. I was trying to get you to figure out how to get you up here. Why is it not letting me? It's letting me see everybody else. I see you being silly. You off the chain. It's letting me see everybody else, but see everybody else, it says bring them on stage. But why not for Denise Renee? I'm about to get mad. Okay, let's see. Okay, Denise Renee, it says you could do the request. It says allow people, your viewers, to do it. So go ahead, you should be able to do it. You should be able to hit the request. But I know that I'm called to be an author, and I've been a paid public speaker. I've been to events where I'm watching people come off the stage and they go to the back of the audience, and at the end of the event, people are running up to them and asking them, can I have your book? And I've seen it, and I've seen people, they don't get everything right then and there. They really want to go home. They want to comb through it. They want to grow. They want to learn from your story, whether it's you're a single mom and you've raised 5 kids successfully and effectively, not according to your standard, but what somebody else needs from you. Whether it's someone who's been able to revive a broken relationship and restore a marriage, whether it's someone who's been able to be resilient in their faith walk after dealing with church hurt, whatever it is, you know that God is giving you something to bear fruit about. And for me, I knew that that's what I wanted. But I'm going to be honest with you. The enemy is busy, and he oftentimes will make you feel like you're not worthy. You are not enough. And as a result of it, you get writer's block. You get you block. Hello. Because a lot of times writer block is you block yourself. You're blocking yourself. And so you need accountability. And I knew that, okay, how can I bless others and pick Renee's brain, because she is genius. And the questions I have are like questions like, okay, I'm gonna give you one peep. Would a writer born today, like if a baby was born today and he or she was born with the identity of writer, without outside knowledge of or external pressure, would they face writer's block? Would they? Because truthfully, it says, I don't see where I can request to come on. Let's see. Diane, do you see on yours where you can request? If you scroll down to the bottom of your live and you go right to left, can you see yours? Okay, let me see. Trying to see how I can do this. We might have to start over, and I hate to do that. Oh, wait. Okay, I sent you an invite. See if it does it that way, Denise Renee. Brenda, Auntie Brenda. I'm on my computer. Oh, yeah, it might need to be on your phone then. That might be why. Yeah, it probably won't give it to you, but I'm looking at everybody else I think is joining me mobile. That's why. But that's a question. I think Denise Renee, well, one, she's hilarious. So I got a feeling she's going to say something that's going to blow my mind. She be extra for no reason. But I really want to know that, because I truthfully believe that what silences us is how we feel about things. But if we pull back the layers, a child that's born, they haven't been scolded enough yet to have that limitless thinking pushed down inside of them. So I don't think a baby born would have writer's block. I don't think they would. I think they would go and write. And even if they produced the worst book ever, right? At least they would be a published author. They might have to run that bad boy through Grammarly again. They may have to hire out and take the proceeds from sales and get an editor, but they would at least be a published author. As humans, we are so hard on each other and ourselves. Any video on TikTok or Instagram will show you that. Look at the bottom in the comment section, and people, it's like we drag people. We don't like to be dragged, but we love to drag. And we drag ourselves if we're honest. We drag ourselves before anybody else get a chance to. She said, I heard that about me being extra. Can you hurry up and just get on the video and talk about, I heard that being extra. See what I'm saying, guys? Do you see what I mean? She's extra. So that's I have those kind of questions. I also have this question, and I want her to answer this because she helped me with this. When I met with Denise Renee, I thought she was going to just be like, okay, yeah, you got to write this book and do X, Y, and Z. She didn't do that. She was like, okay, well, we got to put this marketing and sales funnel and this and this. And I'm like, wait, why are we talking about marketing and sales strategy? And we're supposed to be writing a book. Why are we talking about this? For me, I'm like, yeah. Oh my gosh, just let me bring her. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, it's working, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Paulette. Guys, y'all are dope. Y'all are dope for showing up. Okay. Y'all are so dope. God, I pray a special blessing over every viewer, those of you called to write a book, Lord God, that you will anoint their hearts and minds, their hands, their ideas, their imagination, so that they bear fruit in due season, and that they have the courage to put on paper what you've already been stirring in their spirit. I pray a special blessing of abundance in their sales, their revenue, and their passive income as a result of them taking a leap of faith, for them joining on tonight, and for them putting to action what they hear in this interview. In Jesus, your name, I pray, so let it be done. Amen. Okay, hold on. It says send invite. What? They can't be added to your broadcast while a user is connected. Oh, okay. So she's connecting. No answer from the live video guest. Oh, Denise Renee, you got to answer the invite I sent you. Okay, I sent you an invite. You got to respond to it. So if you look down, it should say accept. It should say accept. So if you scroll down, because I'm looking at it in front of me, and it's green, and it says I sent it to you, and you know how Meta be. Meta be the most. Instead of worrying about the metaverse, they need to worry about the universe and the verse we already on. Okay. Oh, yeah, it worked. Okay, hold on, approve. Okay, hold on. Okay, allow guests to request. Let's see how I do this. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if it's working, because it's acting crazy. I might have to start this again. I don't want to start this again. It worked. It worked. It worked. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay, Denise Renee, can we tell the world who you are, please?
I'm Denise Renee. Hey.
Don't even try it. Don't play games, okay? After that nightmare of trying to get you on here, you better not play with me. Don't play.
I know you. I heard you talking about me. Talking about you be extra. Yes, I be extra. What?
Sean, hey Sean. Paulette, I'm giving everybody a shout out. Sean, Paulette, Brenda, Diane. Whoa. Wait, hold on. Natalia, Cheryl, Kathy. Y'all are dope. Okay. So your volume sounds so low, so I don't know if I'm doing something. Let me try it. I put on volume enhancer at the bottom of the screen, so you might want to try it.
That's up. Let me see. Do I need to stick this in here? Because I was all set up on my webcam.
Okay.
And my lights and everything. So I was like, I wasn't prepared for the phone. So can you not hear me well?
I can hear you. It's just probably low, a little bit low.
Right, let me see if I stick this in. If that does any better. Hear me now.
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Now that's killing my ear, but okay.
Okay.
I'll survive. I will survive. I will survive.
So extra.
Look. But you know
so
this. And so
I couldn't wait to just invite you in. We always cut up, but I feel like guys, maybe you can relate to this. You are, and you know what? Then again, if you are hard on yourself, like we probably are, me and Denise Renee, you may have people that tell you you're effective, you're amazing. You may even have glimpses of seeing yourself and be like, okay, God, I see you working through me. I did that. But for some reason, once that moment goes, you automatically shrink back and start doubting yourself and thinking you're not working with anything all over again. And as a result of that, you never really move forward or do anything with it. And I could tell you from experience that one thing I've learned is you could be the best in the room, but if nobody knows you're in the room because you don't feel worthy enough to make a little noise, then guess what? at the end of the day, nobody's going to know. And so I figured, because of me spending time with Denise Renee, having a chance to see how dope she is, how brilliant she is, how generous she is, I knew I did not want her to stay a secret. And although she's out here in these streets, she's making noise. You gotta check. She's doing some stuff, okay? On LinkedIn, reading blog posts on YouTube.
I don't be on the Facebook streets. Like Facebook, I really stay connected to people that I actually know. So it's a lot of my family and people that I interact with on a. If I don't interact with you on a daily basis, we've definitely met in person. So I don't really do too much on Facebook. But if you want to see me do what I do, LinkedIn, definitely YouTube. Okay. I'm in my YouTube era, YouTube and LinkedIn. And I post on Instagram, but I don't know. I'm thinking about that right now. I'm like, I don't know, you're too extra. It's too much work.
Yeah, because the article you read today that you wrote and that I saw today was so, to me, introspective on your end.
Which, the short one or the one on my blog
the one
or the
that
one
you
on
posted
LinkedIn?
this morning on Abridged, your newsletter.
Okay, so that's basically, so Abridged is like, I've reshifted how I do my content. I guess we'll jump in. Why not? So for me, my content is now starting with what's the teaching video that I want to share. And I think this week's video was all about sometimes when people. So I work with people who want to write a book that gets them clients, gets them opportunities, and just helps them to grow their brand or their business. So in order to you have to structure your book in a particular type of way. So that's what my content is mainly focused on, is helping you to write that kind of book and get you started and get you through the process. And I'll be starting a podcast very, very soon to help people on the second leg of that journey. But what I do now is I've got this concept of what it is I want to teach people in the video. And today's video was about sometimes people feel like, hey, you know what? I'm an accountant. I'm in financial services. My business is kind of, boring humdrum. Nobody wants to hear about accounting. Nobody wants to read a book about accounting. Nobody wants to read a book about numbers. Maybe not, but they want to read a book about how can I have more financial freedom? How can I get more profits out of my business without having to, increase my sales? So we're still talking accounting, but we're framing it in a way that that an audience wants to hear. And then how do we make that book more engaging? So it's not just pie charts and figures. It's storytelling. So my video was all about storytelling. But then what I do is I couch that in a blog, and in the blog, oh baby, I go off. I go off. So the blog is kind of like, the nice setting, the product.
You're so extra.
Okay, right?
Okay,
it's the product shot.
Really? Okay.
Look, it's my best. It's my best Tyra Banks. Amazing. Okay. So the blog is like the whole experience, and I have to say, I'm going to say this publicly, definitely largely influenced by you. Did you read the whole? Did you go to my blog? Wait, now I'm gonna put you on the spot, okay? Because I don't sent you the link to the full blog yesterday when we were live.
Okay. Can I tell you? I'm gonna be very transparent. I read the article from LinkedIn. I watched
and then did you go to blog?
The recording, and then I read the blog and got down to the last two paragraphs, and I knew. I knew he was gonna do this, and I know how I am. I'm like, why would she want me to be crying? I knew he was gonna do that. I said that. I knew he was gonna make me snot. I'm not doing that with you tonight.
But wait, but hold up.
We're talking about you. We're talking about you. But hold up. We're talking about you.
But hold up. Yes, we is.
Moving along. I have some questions.
No, because I would not be doing what I'm doing. Dagnabbit, no, she's not. She's not gonna cry. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now without you.
Why would you do this?
So if y'all want to know what the heck we squabbling about, you're just gonna have to go and read my blog, okay? Because I talked about my girl and how she has really inspired me to tap into my inner storyteller. And yes, I'm a writer. Yes, I write fiction, but I didn't feel like a storyteller. I didn't even feel like my story was worth telling until this lady right here. got
Stop,
on my booty.
Denise
She got on
Renee.
my booty, okay?
I'm not,
She
listen,
got on my booty. She was like, girl. And it was deserved.
I'm not
She was
doing this with
right.
you tonight.
She was right. She is well deserved. And she has so much brilliance in her. So, but anyhow,
Oh, see, now
since you want
Ashley,
to
we're
since you
not
want to
doing
talk
this
about
tonight,
you,
Ashley and Denise
so
Renee.
I'm gonna give you a break
Thank
so you can ask me a question so you can pull them back.
Thank you,
Pull them
because I
back.
feel my eyes swelling, and I ain't coming here
Pull
for
them
that.
back.
I got on makeup, on my eyeshadow, and I'm not trying to get my eyes
See, that's why I
itchy.
don't wear eyeshadow. So, hold on a second. Hold on. Because somebody, somebody's still on the Oculus and it's 9:02. Baby,
Oh, is that CJ?
you know what time it is?
Not you being in mom mode. All the mamas stand up. Okay, Ashley's a mama, Paulette's a mom, Diane's a mom. Like, I think everybody, oh, the moms. Thank you, Lord, for the moms. Okay, so let's just get into these questions.
Get into these questions. Suck them up. Suck them up. Oh,
Okay.
and if you want to know where to find my blog,
These are good.
writingwithDeniseRenee.com/ I think it was inner-storyteller. That's the URL for today's blog. And then you get everything. You get the whole story. You get how Nina influenced me. You get the video. You get everything.
Oh, I can't wait.
And that's the spot.
And I will tag it in the comment section, guys, so you can go and read it and check it out. As well as I'll drop her YouTube channel so you can follow her and her site. Matter of fact, she could do those links. Hi, CJ.
Nina saying hi.
Oh, CJ. Okay, now go back to bed.
You know the deal.
Tanika, oh my gosh, guys, y'all are the bomb. I've already proclaimed the blessing over you guys. I know some of you missed it, but you didn't miss that blessing because I said if anybody watching. Okay, questions. This is about to be a hot seat moment. Okay, we about to do it. Okay.
I ain't got no nails on today. Ooh, my nails are jagged.
Why are pre-authors often broke?
Pre-authors?
Yes, like.
What do you mean pre-authors?
Someone who wants to write a book. Mm-hmm. They are not a writer yet, but they want to author. Mm-hmm. Why are they often in a place where they're not? Well, let me see. Let me scratch that because this might have to piggyback on the next one. Never mind. Let me come to this one. Okay, hold on. What can an author do pre-project, mid-project, and post-project to step their money game up concerning their book? And I'll tell you the backstory of why I'm asking that. A lot of times people hear and they think artists are broke, right? They feel like the artists are broke. They feel like, okay, I don't want to write this book because it's going to take time. Or I had a friend who wrote a book. She didn't see any sales. He didn't see any sales. So why should I write this book? Because there's not going to be anything from it. From your experience as a book writing coach, what have you seen and what can people do pre-project, mid-project, and post-project to change that?
I can't change or influence anyone's money situation before they come to me, or during or after, right? So whatever you're doing for money, you need to, keep on doing it. I think personally, and this is just the snarky side of me, that sometimes why artists are broke is because it's expensive to be an artist. Okay. I'm also a musician and I have to, like, my equipment is like so done. I have to redo my studio. I have a keyboard that I bought like 22 years ago. It was $1,000. I have to redo my now the poor thing, I wouldn't even put the money into fixing it because technology has changed. But to get a nice keyboard, $3,500, easy, right? A good Mac that has enough speed to handle all that I want to record, another $3,500. All of the plugins and writing. Okay, I'm doing this book by myself and I have to hire my own editor or my own coach. I have to, purchase my first set of books if I'm going to have physical books or whatever. I have to put money into advertising. So it's not being an artist of any type. There's always a huge investment up front of time, working on your skill, working on your craft, or working on the product that you're looking to produce. And there's an investment, an initial investment of funds to make that happen. So I can't tell you, like I said, I don't know what your money situation is coming to me. Some people are, just scraping by on minimum wage, and other people are big business people and they're like, yeah, sure, I've got 25,000 in the clip. Let's go. And I'm like, hi, let me help you. Yes, I can help you. And anywhere in between, right? Anyone's coming to me at different stages. I had one person, I need more clients like him. He was like, oh, that's all you cost? Okay, boom, here it is. Send me the invoice, boom, done. I was like, now, Jesus, can we just get like a 5 of these, like back to back? The pay in full ninjas, yes. But, this one wasn't a ninja. So I was like, well, I want to work more with my people, but, these other folks be having the coins. I can't help it. But, that client was a serial entrepreneur, right? And he had just sold a business. So, he had money. Boom, bet, let's go. But what I can say, I think the most important thing that people don't do now, as an artist and as somebody who, I did a CD many moons ago. We're not going to talk about it. But I was so focused, and this is where artists and creators and everyone, we all get caught up into this. We're so focused on creating the thing, we forget that we need to go promote the thing when we're done. And the most important thing that we need to do is build an audience while we're creating the thing. Build an audience while creating the thing. If you don't have an audience, and this is why you see in the media, people who have been on TV shows, people who are popular or whatever, they are the ones that get the big book deals, from the biggie Random Houses and all of those, because those people know, they're tapping into an audience for that person. Last year was my year of getting all the Black women's books. I got Kerry Washington's book. I even got Jada Pinkett Smith's book, and I thought that she was misunderstood. I'm going to be generous and say that she was misunderstood. Because I'm like, everyone's looking at the salaciousness, but if you actually read the book, you kind of miss what she was trying to say in the book. I'm not saying that she's an angel, by no means, but I thought she was misunderstood. But I'm like, I'm going to read your book and I'm going to hear what you got to say for yourself. But she has an audience of people who's interested in the salaciousness of her life. Of course, I said Kerry Washington. I did Viola Davis's book the year before, and it's a whole bunch of Leslie Jones, right? So these people have audiences. They have attention, and these publishing houses know that when this person goes on the night what do you call those, the stand-up people, the nighttime shows, what do you call it? Late night shows, right? So when they go on the late night shows and they do the daytime circuit, people are going to rush to buy their book because, oh, I like this person. I liked Kerry Washington in Scandal. I liked Leslie Jones in The Ghostbusters, or I liked her in Saturday Night Live, or I like so-and-so, Jada. Ooh, Jada Messy, girl. Let me go get her book and see what she says, right? All press is good press, right? So these people have audiences that they can leverage, and they can easily access the media because people want to hear from them. Now, you and me, Joanna Schmo, Joe Schmo, nobody necessarily, we don't have audiences like that. We don't have widespread audiences like that. But we can have a very dedicated core group of people. You have your family, you have your friends, but 9 times out of 10, if you're writing a business book, or a book to grow your business, it's not going to be for your family and friends. So you may get those first initial sales from your family and friends and them, and they are the mercy purchases, the sympathy buys, right? They may not read your book, but they'll give you your little $20, okay? But those are not the people that you really need to reach. So if you're working on building that audience as you go, and you're giving them slices of your book as you're going along, you're talking about the subject, sometimes we can feel like, oh, well, I'm talking about it so much, people are going to get bored of hearing it. No, the only person who's getting bored of hearing it is yourself. Is me. I'm the only one getting tired. But the thing is that you have to understand people like have so many messages coming at them on a daily basis. If you said it 50 million times, they would only remember the last time that you said it, because all the 50, 4,900 other times that you said it, they would not have remembered. So we have to get over ourselves in self promotion because we feel like, oh my God, like, no, because if we don't get it started, nobody else will. But building the audience as you go along, they can now become the people who start to pre order your book. And when it's released, okay, so now those you have those initial sales, that's great. But you want to be cultivating that same audience that's going to be the right kind of audience for your business. So that's why this all kind of works together. And the other thing is that you really have to see it as a long-term play. This is not instant, get rich quick, da da da. You have to be willing to invest in the long term and not only think about writing one book. I like to recommend people plan out a series of 3 books, because the groundwork that you build to build up that audience to buy the first book, you're going to have some super fans out of that book, and they're going to want the second and the third, etc. And the more that you write and the more that you release, each subsequent project will get easier and easier in terms of, because you're building up an email list that you can market that book to, and people who are, on your socials, and they're engaging and commenting and things like that. And you're just growing this community around the topic that it is that you cover. It's the audience. That's why book sales go nowhere, because people, they write the book in isolation and they're like, ta-da, here it is, right? And then it's like you got that first couple of sales, from sympathy sales from your family and friends, and then you're wondering, well, why isn't this catching on? Because you're not talking about it. You're not sharing about it. You're not growing your audience. You're not leveraging other people's platforms. And that's the best thing, though, once you have a book, is now you can start pitching yourself to podcasts and things like that, and going to where your audience is. So you have to just stay on top of that. You really have to have not only a launch plan for your book, but you have to have what I like to call an evergreen marketing plan for your book. It's where you're evergreen marketing. And then maybe about after the year, then you get to work on the second book. But you're still marketing, you're still growing. And when you drop that next book, you'll find that it is an easier drop the next time. But then the other thing is that people forget that you'll be getting, if you structure your book right, you could be getting clients out of that book. So it's not only about the initial sales and, making $20 a book, but it's really about, now those people you're getting them into your funnel, and now those people can become your clients. And so now they're paying a couple $100s for a service. They're paying a couple $1,000s for a service. So you have to see your book, your business book, as not just the $20 you're going to get off the top. You're looking at the whole life cycle of how much more business this is going to bring into you, and just overall, how much more people you're going to be really helping in the community that you're developing. So when you have that holistic mindset, you have a long-term mindset, and it makes the process worth it, right? And so you're not just like, oh, well, I put it on sale last week and nothing happened, so oh well, that's it, I'm done, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you're saying, which I like, because a lot of people, they don't think about it. It's almost like an event, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the people who inspire me the most, who does this so well also, is Ashley, which is, she's with us watching tonight. A lot of times people don't realize that before they sell a product, there's also spin-off products they can pull from it. There's also
Mm-hmm.
spin-off sessions they can provide that connects directly to that expertise or that knowledge, or that thing they're providing, that breakthrough they're providing.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's mid-project, right? There's the master class. You can take a core topic from what you're going to be presenting in that book
There's
and
so
host
much
a
you
whole
can do.
master class or in-depth workbook, boot camp or master class, post sale, post project. Is also, then now I could come and speak on this and do a whole workshop if you need me to on this particular subject. So I like how you said for them not to be closed-minded in the thought of, this book is the only thing I can ever produce something from, and that there are ways to build that
Monetize the
connection,
book.
still serve
Mm-hmm.
value, and make
Right.
that relationship strong, pre-project release, post-project, and mid-project. So that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to encourage people to think about that, because I can imagine, even for myself, right, in the process of putting together and reading and learning how to write my book, it's easy to feel like dang, it's almost like weight loss, right? Why should I go to the gym 3 or 4 or 5 times a week when I got to wait a year from now to see the weight loss come off that I want to really see? Versus that person who's like, no, I want little increments of small wins now, not just when it's over. There's a blouse that I want to be able to get into. There's something that I want to be able to do for myself as a treat, or, there are little things that you can do to still maximize and leverage that experience, hands down.
Yeah.
And I love that. So that's dope. Somebody said, hold on, I want to make sure I'm getting these comments. Yes, Ashley said, yes, creating multiple streams from your book is the way to go. That's dope. Yes, small wins to celebrate. Okay, I have a question, because one of the things that I saw in your blog today, and I feel like it's so relatable for so many people, when you're talking about the excellence of education and the things you had to do, and being worthy in that space, because for the space you were in that education, it wasn't like there were a lot of people that were brown in that space, right? And you were just saying
there was 50 of us on a campus of 1,500.
Wow. Say that last part again.
There were 50 Black people on a campus of 1,500 students. So first of all, 1,500 students, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. That's the whole college, right? So elite, right? But only 50 were Black.
Wow.
Now they would say we have 13% minority. They was including the international students. I'm like,
they were finagling the numbers so they could feel good about themselves. So
to make you feel good about coming. But anyway.
So when reading your blog and I was seeing that, and I was thinking to myself, goodness gracious, I can't imagine the kind of pressure of perfectionism that set in. So it made me wonder, something that I've seen recently, you've been on a journey of really breaking up with perfection, right? Divorcing perfection. And so it made me wonder, do you ever feel hypocritical? Or do you ever feel like you need to go back to perfectionism, the perfectionism you were once married to? Do you ever still feel like this pull? You know how sometimes you let go of this lover, you've moved on in life, you're living your best life, you're done, but that Negro show up on the call ID and you like, should I come to him? Should I go to him? Like, I remember when, his hugs, his kiss, I don't know. It makes you like, do I need to revisit this?
You want to
does it
spin the block?
How does it feel hypocritical? Do you ever feel like I'm cheating on perfection because you've decided to divorce or you've decided to move forward? How do you feel about that? And like the next question is, what?
Now let me answer that. No, but don't pile on because let me answer that question. Let me preface by saying I love my son and I love what my marital relationship produced. The marital relationship itself was not a good situation for me or for him. And we decided it would be best for our son if we broke that apart, be great co-parents, and create separate spaces, separate happy spaces for our son to flow in and out of. If the relationship didn't serve me, I gotta go.
Ooh.
So while it's familiar and it's tempting to be like, should I spin the block on that? Ooh. It didn't. I have to remember it didn't serve me. Ooh. And if I go back to it, it's not gonna help me. Perfect example. Today. I was out. I didn't really like prepare my meals. I know when I prepare my meals, I'm doing better. And right now, I'm not even trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to feel better because I feel like crap because I've been eating like crap. But when I eat better, I feel better. And usually I'm like, if I eat at home and I prepare my meals, let's just rock with that. But so today I got kind of caught out there and I was like, okay. So I made a stop and I had some old favorites. I spun the block on some old favorites. And I have to tell you, I'm eating and I'm like, this feels like nothing. This is not nourishing. This is not satisfying. This is doing me no good. And I'm glad that I have that mindset, because the next time I'm tempted to just go back to an old habit, old food pattern, I have to remember, but it didn't even taste good. It didn't feel good. And you know the effects that it's having on you. So perfectionism. Waiting until everything is perfect, has me in a spot where people ask me, "Oh, you're a book writing coach, so where's your book?" And I'm like, cobbler's kid, right? Perfectionism got me there. I'm waiting for the perfect thing. It has to be perfect. No, ma'am. Perfectionism has put me in a place where it hasn't served me. So as much as sometimes I want to spin the block, I remind myself, no, you're going to love me even more. I have recorded 3 episodes of a new podcast that I'm calling Unpublished. And I'm going to get myself out. I'm getting it out by this weekend. It's me sharing, because people ask me, you're a writer? And I'm like, I have nothing to show for it. Like, that has been like a personal embarrassment of mine, right? Because perfectionism and so many other things. Do not make me cry. Don't do it, right? And I'm like, I literally, hold on.
Oh my gosh, don't leave us, Denise Renee. I was about to say.
This is just a portion of unpublished work from, and this is, because some of the rest of my stuff, I'm sure it's in a box somewhere, but from high school, college, after college, not published. What are we waiting for, girl, right? So I was like, you know what? Bump the perfectionism, bump where it is, but like, it's like I need to have something for people to like grasp onto. So I'm like, you know what? Let's share it in a podcast. It's unpublished, works in progress, because I do have this other book. Well, you know this. I wrote a book 2019, finished it in 2020, didn't publish it. Oh, you didn't know? I thought I told you. Well, a couple of my friends know. Yes, unpublished. Want me to go get that? Because that's in the other room, right? So I'm putting the finishing touches on it now, and I looked at my calendar today, and I'm like, why is it May? Why is it May? And I'm talking with my audio editor because I want to do the audiobook to it as well. But his schedule just got a little crazier, and I was like, so I'm trying to figure out my production schedule, because I wanted to release it in Q3. I'm not sure I'll be able to make that kind of deadline, so it might be Q4. But I'm like, in the meantime, I'm building my audience, right? I'm building my audience and just sharing these things and sharing things that are unpublished. And I'll start to, when I feel like I have a release date, I'm going to start sharing content around my book and just, getting people into the fold and getting them excited about what's coming out and da, 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 da. But yeah, no, I have, perfectionism has not helped me. Perfectionism has not served me. It only helps me when I'm helping somebody else, when I'm helping them perfect their stuff. But for me, it doesn't serve me. So I'm like, I may as well try this new thing, because I already know what waiting for everything to be perfect is going to be. And, another thing too is, another factor for me is having the money, right? Because when I really sit down and say, okay, if I want to have everything top notch, writing a book and self-publishing a book is not cheap. To do a halfway decent job, at least minimum $15,000, because you really have to get the words right. You really have to go through several rounds of editing, right? You have to have a great cover. You need to have that presentation on point, and you need to have some initial money to, either you're going to put together a really great launch event that you're going to get several types of content out of, and maximize it.
And that's
Or
just a disclaimer. That's depending on the book project. Not every book project is necessarily going to cost that amount. I don't want anybody to run away screeching, screaming, intimidation. Wait, you're mute. You're mute, Denise Renee.
sorry, I was trying because I was getting notifications like, I didn't turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I think that if you are looking to write a quality book, now, does it have to be $15,000? No, it doesn't have to be. If you know people, if you got people who, if you have a good team in place, or if you are able to land a publishing deal with a publishing house, will take on the cost. So I don't want people to feel like, oh, I don't have $15,000, I can't do it. It doesn't mean that you have to lay out all $15,000 all at once either. But I'm just saying, throughout the process, when you look back, you're going to see that a quality book, self-published book, is gonna probably run you around $15,000, given all of the different pieces that you need to prepare for. And if you're not sure what you need to prepare for, I do have a video on my YouTube channel. Oh, well, I'm on my phone, so give me a second. But if you go to my YouTube channel, no, actually I know what it is. If you go to my YouTube channel, so you go to youtube.com/@writing with Denise Renee, and excuse me, the video is called Self-Publishing Checklist. And I think I published that like in December, towards the end of December. So that'll tell you what are the things you need to be prepared for. But yeah, right. So I'm blessed where I have some friends. So they go give me the friends and family discount on certain things, which is great. But I'm like, you know what, even for me, I'm just like, okay, I'm not even going to worry about, okay, I don't have 15, stacked sitting there waiting for just this projects, because, life be happening. But I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get it done. When I did my CD, I can't remember how much it cost me to do my CD, but I mean, I just kept going, right? I just kept going. I got started. I kept going. I took care of what needed to be taken care of, and it got done, right? It got done. So nothing should deter. I mean, and in the grand scheme of things, if $15,000 and a few months of your time is going to result in $150,000 over the next year, $150 million over the next 10 years, is the investment worth it?
Okay, so then what things would you encourage someone to do to help them see and realize that kind of bank? Because
Like
that
I
was
said,
one of the things that really blessed me from spending time with you. I came to you thinking, okay, we're just going to do an outline, we're going to map out some things, and instead I walked
I
away
was
with
giving
a
you,
whole funnel. I walked
I gave you
away
a whole
with
sales funnel.
like,
Yeah, and
so
other monetization opportunities from the book. Yeah, that's why you have to think of it that way. So it's not just, oh my God, I don't have the money for this. Like, no, if I don't do this, this is not going to help me get to the money I'm wanting to see. And the money is not about just, oh, I just want to have money in my pocket to, feel good. Money gives you opportunities. Money gives you
yeah,
choices.
buying
Money
power
gives you,
for sure.
yeah. So it's like money funds the dream and the
I love
vision
that.
that's in your heart. So it's not about, money to be like, oh, I'm just going to be rich and, whatever. No, it's about to fund the things that are dearest to your heart, to fund the mission that's in your heart, to fund what it is that God has put you here to do and who you are meant to be. What we ain't meant to be is broke and worried and stressed. So,
I love what you said, Paulette. You said, um, and Paulette is from Jamaica, Denise Renee.
hey,
That's my god sister. She's from
Iron
Jamaica.
Wagwan.
She said, where there's a will, there's a way. And of course,
It
anybody
is.
who knows me, they know my mind is kingdom. And I feel like provision means for vision. So
Exactly.
anything God has already established for you, He will give you wisdom. If he can tell Peter where to find the coin for the tax, God can give you instruction divinely on what to do. And I've personally seen it. I know that he's able. And that's why I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to just ask you questions. One of the things that, like, when I was reading your blog today and talking about storyteller, why do you think so many people struggle with imposter syndrome and feeling like, why do they struggle with imposter syndrome and feel like they can't tell good stories or they can't write a book?
I think, I know for me, I'll own my mess. Because I see other people who I think are like, oh, wow, this person has just such great, oratory skills, baby, right? Or man, the way that this person puts words together, I just fall in and melt into it, and I feel so immersed in this world, and it's so lush. And it's not that I think that I'm a bad writer. No, I think I'm a good writer. But it's just like, man, I'm good, but whoa, they're better, right? So it's on the one part, it's comparative. It's comparing yourself to someone else. And it's also sometimes comparing to someone who has gained an audience. The only reason I know about this person is because they've been able to amass that audience and I know about them. But then I have my moments where I'm like, you know what, if more people knew about me, I'd have those people who, would fall in love with my crazy personality, right? And, who really absolutely love what I do and they find so much value out of it. I'm not for everyone, just like everybody else is everyone's not going to be in your audience. The job is to find the people who are meant for you. Like dipping into pop culture, Amanda Seales. That's such a sad conversation for so many reasons. It's very layered after that Club Shay Shay interview and then her responses. And I was like, oh, girl. But anyway, I'm on the side of, I think the pylon that happened to her was just like ridiculous. But at this point, I'm like, I feel like while, I really like her. I like what she stands for. I don't think that she's out here like trying to harm people, but she does have a particular personality that everyone doesn't jive with, right? Caribbean people, we could be very direct. New Yorkers, for sure, we direct, right? And there is a directness that sometimes people just don't, they don't respond well to. And I'm just like, girl, at this point, I would love for you to, everybody on mute, right? And do what you do. Because she's got podcasts, she's got a radio show, she's got her touring, she's got her book, she's writing another book, all of the things. And I'm like, girl, you're in such a great place you have created your own lane. These people don't want to rock with you. Deuces, right? Deuces to the people who don't rock with you. Focus on the people who do rock with you and who do support you. They pay money to come out to your Smart, Funny, and Black stuff. They pay for your Patreon, whatever. Focus on them. And so to me, that's a great example to remember. Go where you're celebrated, right? Don't worry about the millions of people who may never, hear about you or who may hear about you and like, that's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to spend energy trying to win you over. I'm looking for my fans. I'm looking for my tribe. I'm looking for the people that I rock with and who rock with me and I rock with them. And it doesn't have to be, and this is so amazing, is that you don't really need thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I think we get really thrown off by numbers. I was watching this video on YouTube earlier about TikTok pretty, and they're breaking down, this one girl does nothing but go, in the mirror, and she has in the phone, and she has 7.8 million views on the video. Meanwhile, other creators that look like this are displaying actual talent, whatever, and they're not going viral. And again, for that discourse, we get so caught up in, I want to have that virality. I need to have millions of people. No, you don't. We don't need to have millions of people following us. So when you get to that space, a lot of times you notice, I don't think our brains are meant to handle that kind of attention, because a lot of times these people, these big creators, I mean, this is a big thing on YouTube as
The,
well, because I'm a
the
big YouTube
pressure is
girly.
real.
The pressure is real. You see them take a break because it's too much. I don't want that kind of a life. Listen, give me an email list with 1,000 people who are very well curated. They're just like, yes, Denise Renee, you have the information I'm looking for. I want to learn from you, learn with you. When I'm ready, I'm going to make that investment. I'll hire you as my editor, or I'll hire you as my book coach, whatever. And I'm sharing other kinds of content that help with the whole ecosystem of you being a personal brand or being a business owner. So, they're going to rock with me for a while. Give me 1,000 people, like 1,000 targeted people on my email list. I don't have to work again, right? Because the content that I produce for you is going to be helpful to you. When you're ready to hire me, you'll hire me. I'll have more than enough. I don't need millions of people. I just need to find my right audience. And that's what I'm on a quest to do right now.
A lot of times what people don't know about those numbers is they're literally just for looks. They're for show.
They're
They're not
inflated.
necessarily buyers. They're not
Mm-mm.
necessarily people who are inviting you anywhere. They're not people who care for you. We
They're just
saw that
looking.
we saw that with people. You see that right happening now with TD Jakes. You see that happen with Chris Brown and Rihanna. They were popular, right? And the moment when something hit the fan, all those numbers that were
Everybody's
with them
gone.
was gone,
Gone.
toast, done, finito. So because of that, they did not even have the kind of effect. So I agree with you. Having those core people who really show up for you, who really rock with you. Even, for example, this video is proof of that, right?
Exactly.
I've had the same core people, but you guys have stayed the course. You guys are pulling from this. You guys are going to be the ones who gain the most from it. And that's exactly what it is.
One of the earliest comments on the video before I came in, I forgot who said it. I think it was Diane, said, I miss you going live. That's it right there. People don't buy our stuff.
I wrote that down.
People don't buy our
right
stuff.
Here. I was like,
people don't buy our stuff. They buy our stuff, but they don't really buy our stuff. You know what they're buying?
You.
They're buying us. They buy you. Right? They buy you before they buy your stuff.
Yep.
So who are you? And that's why storytelling is so important, as my good friend Nina Oglesby has successfully drummed into my head. Right? Open up. Open up. Share. The good, the bad, the ugly. Because that's the other thing too. I think if you share the good, the bad, the ugly in a tactful way, it can help you more than hurt you. Will people take information and try to be like, oh well, da 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 da? Okay, fine. You're never be my people, and you'll never, be my customers. So that's okay. I don't have to worry about you. But I also disarm anything. You think you want to pull up tea on me? Well, no, I'm going to spill my own tea next. So.
Okay, now you wearing the publicist hat. Okay. Because that's
exactly
what it is.
Wish,
strategic placement. It really is.
I could be Amanda Seales' publicist right now. I'd be like, girl, this is what you need to do. I need you to, I need you to sell out these dates that you have for your tour. Just sell them out, right? And when you get on stage, hit, kill, eat, everything, right? Do all of the things. Just do no interviews. Because she has a book deal. She said on the Shay Shay show, she has a book deal with Random House, I think. That's coming out next year. And I'm like, you need a year to clean the media slate of you. You need to not, and we need to take over your social media accounts. When you want to rant to your private community. Say nothing public about anybody else, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And I'm like, girl, I don't like that for you, but
I am so grateful for the confirmation, because that was something this past week God was really dealing with me on, teaching people about the art and science of recovering and redeeming your reputation. Because we all
let the work speak for itself.
That are out of character. We all do things. We make mistakes. We say things. We're emotionally driven. And truthfully, had I not been such a nerd in the space of my industry, I wouldn't have learned about the propaganda and the push and the way things are set up. So I wouldn't even have insight to behind the scene of the system. And it truly is a system. It's a system
It
of
is.
relationship building, social selling, public sway, molding of public opinion. And those are things that are workable and can be recovered from if you know what you're doing and how to do it. I, it's so funny. I feel so torn because I wrote some things down and I really want to like get to them, but I know we've had like the first 10 minutes of our time was struggling to get on
I
like
was
the
on the
first
wrong.
15
I was on the
minutes
wrong thing.
and
I'm
it's
sorry.
9:42 and I'm like, oh, I want to keep going,
Listen,
but I'm like, I
listen.
don't want to
Those
make
who gonna
people,
rock,
huh?
look. Those who gonna rock, they're gonna rock. That's why there's a replay. What's your question?
Well, I'm gonna do it this way because I want to have an incentive for people to come back. I'm gonna ask one question, and then I also want you guys to tell me, do you think you would rock with us on a part two? And do you think I should bring Denise Renee back for a part two? So I need you guys to either DM me or put that in the comment after the live video. But meanwhile, I'm gonna say these three things. I'm gonna say these three things, and then I'm gonna finish with Denise Renee. So the first one is relationship building. You said something, my one of my favorite, and I don't like them as far as like relationship goal kind of couple. But
I hate that.
one of the couples who I really respect as
Hmm.
far as the work we do is Devol and Kadi. I think Devol, and I hope I'm saying her right now, Renee name right. Kadi, something like that. I'll come back with the name. It's a couple. He was once a sports player. He got injured. He went through mental health issues. Him and his wife had so many tumultuous things happen, and yet they've turned and recovered so much in their marriage.
Hmm.
They've been able to move forward successfully, have more children. They wrote a book.
Okay.
But one of the things they did that was so brilliant, and this is where my lane is audience sharing. They work with is it Tamra Hall?
Tamron Hall.
Yeah, Tamron Hall.
Hmm.
They worked with her one time. She fell in love with them and recommended them to almost every platform within her network. Okay.
Wow, that's
And when
powerful.
I say she helped them sell their book, she helped them launch their tour, and then they were able to go to the Apollo. They were able to do all these
Look at
things.
their multiple
They didn't
streams of
have the
income from the
audience,
book.
but she did. Now they did have a meaty audience because they had been on YouTube, like you said,
Yeah,
building a
but now they
relationship,
blew it up.
letting people buy them before people even bought their book. So they were writing their book. They were taking the feedback from the commentary. They were taking the notes from their audience and the things their audience was saying. And they were making that a part of the dialogue that they made the core focus of their relationship book. And as a result, they wrote their book with their audience input. And then they went
And the
ahead
audience
and got
bought
on that
it.
show and pitched that show, built that relationship with her. They didn't have to build a relationship with everybody, but they built a relationship with a person who was well connected and had golden relationships with other people. In 2024, do you think relationship building needs more attention and focus than it really gets?
It's everything.
Mm,
Who are you selling your stuff to? People. You have to have some kind of relationship with them, even if it's a parasocial one, right?
mm,
A parasocial being you're this personality on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and you're growing this audience, and people feel like they know you.
mm.
Therefore, they like you and trust you enough to buy your book, to buy your makeup, to buy your clothes, or whatever it is that you're selling, or your course, or buy tickets to come see you. Um, Relationships are necessary laterally within your industry,
Mm,
across your industry, in relationships into media. Like, you go on one show and now she's giving you the publicist for five other big daytime shows. You make the rounds. I mean, all of a sudden, you're getting thousands of hits to your socials every day. You're getting more people typing in your book on Amazon, 10 more people buying your book today Now you're number one. People don't realize it doesn't really take that much to be an Amazon bestseller. You just have to outsell everybody in that category on today.
Come on.
But it's true. That's just the numbers, right? But if you are constantly in the media and constantly in the news, and people are just buying a book is really great as an entry point for people. It's a low cost entry point. Either it's $20 to get the physical copy, or I pay Audible, I think $16.99 a month per credit, or it's a credit in my Audible. Now I got to hear you. I got to read about you. I got to engage in your story. Now I want to go to your socials. Now I want to oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing a live tour. Okay, I'll come here. Oh, you're doing this workshop. Okay, I'll go to. I mean, relationships are so important. And I think even more so now with AI, and the more we're doing, even though a lot of companies are like, come back to the office, come back to the office. Still, there's still a lot of remote work that's happening.
A lot of it.
So much is just going to be changing, and it feels like even with the ability to literally connect with people, like you're in one state, I'm in another state right now, right? We have these tools and technologies, and yet people can still feel so far apart. It makes relationships and communities so much more important and so much more valuable than anything. Because again, without your support, without your community, without your audience, who are you selling to?
Wow. I love what you said, Diane. You said it gives credibility to, like, a business card packed with expertise.
The book, yes,
As far
absolutely.
as your book.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
And there was something else that someone, okay, Diane asked earlier, she asked, is there a breakdown of what the 15,000, what it breaks down to? Is that marketing, editing, and cover design?
So I have a video on my YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and search little at symbol, at Writing with Denise Renee. You'll find my channel, subscribe, and look for the video titled Self-Publishing Checklist. Yes, Self-Publishing Checklist. It was published in December, and that'll tell you what you need to. There's a whole the pre-production, the creative side, and then the production and the promotion side of what you need to do. So there's 2 checklists on there. So yes.
Okay. My last question, because I want to say this for you guys watching this. One of the things I will encourage you to do as you're watching Denise Renee, you're becoming, whether you know it or not, okay, you're becoming more drawn to her and more attracted to her as a result of her personality, being exposed to her and really connecting with her. One of the things I want to encourage everyone watching this to do is to build up your courage to come forward as far as in videos and interviews, even if not in video per se, which I would love for that for you, for everyone watching, but especially even in interviews, because interviews sell you also. They cause people to be drawn to what you do, to know more about you, to learn more about you. I can tell you from spending time with Denise Renee, there have been times where I'm listening to her and I'm like, I didn't even know you were skilled in this area. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know you knew how to do this. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. So I just want to encourage everyone to do that. She said, I love writers and people who love books. Aw, because we're nerds. Nerds rule. Okay, literally, we're going to rule. We do rule. Okay, selves. As a believer, even non-believers, right? Why do we cringe at the thought of sales? Now, you and I talked a while ago, not cringe at the thought of sales or cringing at the thought of being pushy or salesy. You and I talked about our pet peeves and people just reaching out to us on LinkedIn, and people having no tact, no skill, no taste, no flair, no savviness when it comes to approaching people, and as a result people are turned off, and now they shrink back and they don't want to sell because they had those experiences. What are your thoughts about that?
So one of my thoughts about sales,
Like people who feel like they don't want to be pushy or salesy.
you don't have to be. Um, if you think about sales as it's again, it comes back to relationships, your relationship building. I think the most important thing is what turns people off. I know what turns me off is when people approach me assuming I want to buy whatever it is that you have. First of all, you don't even know me, so you don't know what I need or what I want or who I know. So don't come to me with the assumption that I'm going to buy whatever you have, right? So come to me like, hey, let's keep it in the social media DMs. Hey, saw your content, really liked it, whatever, love what you're doing. Cool. Oh, thanks. If you come to me with a conversation, I'm gonna come back with you with a conversation. Okay, no problem. I like what you're doing, whatever. I'll comment on your stuff. And then as you get to know me, as you see my content, then you have the right to say, hey, I would love to get on a call with you because da 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 da. Like I'd like to talk to you about this or whatever. And if it's a conversation that I feel that's going to be mutually beneficial, I'll get on that call, or I might pitch that call. But I'm not pitching with the intent of, you're writing a book and you're going to buy my services, because people are at different phases
Yeah,
of wanting to write a book.
exactly.
There are lots of people who want to write a book, but not everybody is going to do so.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily in the right mind frame to invest the time, invest the money, and take the journey. My job is to be present and top of
Yeah.
mind in your awareness so that when you are ready to take a step, you remember me and you want to work with me already. Like I'm your only choice. Like I want to be your top of mind choice when you're ready, but I can't make you ready, right? I just have to be there and present I have to have been serving you with, the content, the blogs, the this, the that. And then when you're like, okay, I'm ready to pull the trigger. All right, Denise Renee, can I book a session with you? Can I, what's your rate for this? What is your rate for that? Or Denise Renee, I've been watching you for a year and I've been working on my book. Now I have, a 75,000 page manuscript. Let's get this editing done. Okay. So to me, if my no, not if I create my content in the way that I don't want to gatekeep any information. That's my giving to the relationship. I'm not holding back any game. I'm
Yeah.
telling you exactly what to do. And there's going to be a minority of people who actually take the things that I say in my video and they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be another subsection who's like, I like what you're saying, but girl, I need help. Those are the people who will reach out. And then there are rest who will just watch me because they just like me.
Yeah.
I have people in my YouTube list that I watch. I'm not going to be their customer, but I like them, right? And I support their content. I leave my comments or whatever. I just like them. And maybe something comes up, maybe they have an event or something like that, and I might support that event. Or they may say, hey, this is how you can support me. And I might send a donation or, to support them, whatever, what have you. It's all about the relationship. So you really cannot just approach people assuming they're going to buy your stuff. Approach it with learning who they are, understanding, and if there is a synergy, and say, hey, have you ever thought of, insert whatever topic it is that you talk about or that you sell. Have you ever thought about this? Or do you know? Or here's a nice question to ask. Ask, hey, you know what? I'm sure you're probably aware that I do XYZ, and I'm looking for to intake 2 more clients this month. Who do you know who might be looking for blah, 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 right? So that's a nice softball way. You're asking them for a referral, but if they happen to be like, you know what, I actually need that. Can we talk about that? So now you're inviting them into a conversation, but it's not, hey, I sell websites and girl, you need I think I shared with you
It's
something
annoying.
somebody gave me a couple weeks ago. They came into my DM, they followed me, I followed back. And then they were like, hey, I do websites, whatever, blah, blah, I do branding, whatever. I'm like, okay, I said, all right, I'm not looking for that right now. And then they were like, oh, well, you definitely need a brand upgrade. Have you gone to my website? Have
Oh
you
my
looked?
gosh, I
You remember
remember
that?
that.
Yes. I was just like,
Such a turn off.
you don't know me. You didn't ask me any questions. Did you even look at my content? Do you even know that hello, I'm a copywriter. I do my own web design. I do everything myself. That's not what I need. There are some things that I need, but I didn't need that. But you
Right.
lost out on an opportunity where I may not need you, but I know the people who need you, right? Like everybody doesn't have the skill or the patience to do their own
Yeah.
websites. So I would love to be able to refer people to someone else because I'm not, because people ask me sometimes, I'm like, I don't want to do your website. I barely want to do my own. So, so if I have someone like, no, but you know what? I know so and so. You missed an opportunity because you're just assuming, and they were just like, the tone just came off so snarky, like, oh, you
Right.
definitely need my
I,
help.
I think what annoyed me about reading her commentary to you was that you can tell it was canned and automated.
Yes,
And nothing wrong with
don't do that.
automating your process and having things in place because you're only one person with so much time and everything. However, there should not have been
Customize,
such a way that you insult someone because it did come across very disrespectful and rude. And I think a lot of
and
times what people don't
assumptive.
realize is I kind of was doing some soul searching on that. For the longest time, God kept showing me, so your solution is in you doing more with your sales. And I was like, but I don't want to sell. I don't like it. And I had to pull back the layers of why I really had a beef with it. And a lot of it had to do with the couple things. The idea of rejection,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of not knowing what I'm selling, the
Mm,
idea of feeling like no one's going to really want this because the market is already saturated with it. And then
that's another
it
thing.
was also feeling
Comparison
like like okay, who's going to take me seriously? Because a lot of times, if we're honest, we neglect doing for ourselves what we expertly know how to do for
do for
others.
others.
So because we feel unworthy,
Hello.
sometimes we're in our own
Do I have a book
headspace
published?
and we
Hello.
feel like
Do I have a book published?
right,
No, but I
we're
have
in our own
ghostwriting.
headspace
I
of
have
our
ghostwriting clients who have books published.
see,
I have edited. Where my people's at? Yeah, I got 3 of my clients' books sitting right over there.
see.
Their stuff is
And we feel some
done.
sort of way. And then the last thing is the last thing was I confused straightforwardness with pushiness.
Mm,
In other words, if I'm somewhere and I see someone they have on, let's say, a rinky dink workout outfit, but I can tell from their personality that they actually want to look good in what they have, and I have the wares to fulfill that, then I can allow myself to really, like Diane said, is selling is serving. I can look at that and learn how to assist in however I can, but I don't need to be like, yo, your clothes is ratchet. I got something that you would like though, and think that they're going to have an
they're gonna be
excitement
receptive.
towards what I'm
No,
doing. You can't do
no,
that. You have to have some tact and class and knowing
exactly.
what you're doing when you're approaching people. And
I think if you
just to,
approach with questions,
yeah,
questions disarm.
right,
Just ask questions. Get to know someone before you recommend
right.
anything.
And to assume that you know what, to me, a person like that makes me feel like I can't trust them. And I'm gonna tell you
Mm,
why. In a relationship of business, I have to feel like you have my best interests at heart. If you're coming to me from a you-minded place, not a me-minded place, I already see that if we were at odds, you will always look out for number one. You
absolutely.
wouldn't be honest and look at from you wouldn't die to self for my success.
Mm,
You would be only in you, inward. You get what I'm saying? So why should I even trust you with this business opportunity when I see right here from the gate you're only thinking about you? If you come to me and you say, hey, I think that you're going to want this without even having any kind of clue, diagnostic, no kind of anything, giving you a sign that that's something I need, you just told me no. You came to me because you have your quota in mind, not my success in mind. And if I can't trust you with that, why should I? So I feel like everything that you said is so spot on. I think definitely not Paulette laughing. Paulette, you know I'm telling the truth. I was going to work out. I was going to the gym in my soccer mom fit, and then I saw this girl, and I was like, "Oh, she look all coordinated and cute." I was like, "I want to." I'm about to find me some coordinated and cute stuff for full figure women. So
hard
look,
to
I don't
say.
need nobody coming up and rolling up on me, trying
Right.
to snatch me and say,
Because you're already in a vulnerable state, right?
"Yes,
You don't know what state of mind someone is in.
right,
So, like, you're already feeling self conscious. It's like, okay, I'm finally getting to the gym. Be glad that I'm
right."
getting to the gym
Read the
at all.
room,
At least
people.
I'm not naked.
Read the room.
But I'm getting to the gym, right? Leave me alone. But yeah, and sometimes, yeah, some
Oh,
of
about
those
the
things like
college children. Okay.
yeah, definitely. I have definitely been the cobbler's kid, and I tell myself this year is the year. I have certain things that I know internally have been holding me back. I'm like, oh well, I don't have this, I don't have that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. This year is my year to knock those things off my list, so that I no longer can say, well, I don't have this. No, you have that. Well, I don't have this. No, you have that. Well, I don't have. No, you publish your book. So hush up, and let's move on, right? So this is 2024 is the no excuses year. Get rid of all the excuses year for me personally. Um, and yeah, because like I have, when I tell you, I probably have about 5 novels outlined that I just haven't, finished writing. I have a couple of short story. I have one short story series. I'm one short story shy of it, but it's just, I really need to take the time to really edit it, and I can put that out. But again, it's just not done, right? Because of perfectionism, or because, I'm really also in my audience building era right now. So that is that's also an important part of the process. Like I don't want to release something to crickets, because that's another like fear of mine. Because it's like, okay, if you release something, if you publish something and it doesn't sell well, it doesn't look well, then that's just not going to look good on you, right? So that's another fear. So it's just like, okay, just do the work, right? Do the work. Nothing that is worth having, nothing that is worth building, nothing is instant. Everything that is worthwhile takes time. Even God took time. Whether you want to believe the Bible as an allegorical, he took 7 days, or you want to go with the carbon dating with, of the earth, whichever way you look at it, God took time to create. God wasn't in a rush. We're in a rush because we feel the weight of mortality, right?
Right.
And since I've crossed over to, the half century mark, it's like it's like, oh, okay, I'm not. I may not have as much time as I thought I had. I mean,
Right.
who knows, right? I can walk outside my house tomorrow, and that's, this is the end of my lifespan. I wouldn't know that. But that's another thing that kind of drives me. It's like, okay, everything hasn't been perfect, but good God, can you leave something at least for your child that's sleeping in the next room, so he could look back and say, okay, at least my mom did this, right?
Wow.
So it's like a personal fire to just be like, okay, even if it's not published yet, let's get it unpublished, which, by the way, makes it published. But that's okay. I'm not, don't tell me that. Don't say that to myself, because, she may not catch up. But it's okay. It's kind of like my sneaky way of publishing without really publishing. But, I'll build an audience for it. I'll perfect it. I'll polish it. And then when it's ready for, that part, I've got people who've seen an earlier version of it, and they're interested in seeing the perfect version of it, right? And they'll be the first ones to help, spur me on, and share it with their friends and whatever. That's the community building, right? And so you cannot build community without being open, honest, vulnerable. You cannot share, you cannot sell, you can't do anything without building those relationships. So, I think if anything, anyone wants to take any, our conversation has gone in a lot of different places, but I think when it comes to writing a book, building your brand or your business, it's going to be, you have to not be short-sighted. Don't be worried about, don't compare yourself to other people who seem to have, made XYZ sales in 30 days or something like that, because you don't know, excuse me, you do not know what in the world was behind the scenes of them accomplishing that particular feat. They could have had years of experiences of quote unquote failures that led to this one particular moment of success. Or they may have had a stack of money from, some other venture, and they had the money to invest in the team and the infrastructure. And so many times we as individuals, we're one person doing a whole lot, and we're expecting to come off and pull off the same thing that someone who has a team of 5 or 10 is able to do. We cannot do what Gary
So
Vee
true.
does. We don't
So
have a
true.
full-time, 3 videographers following us around with a camera. We don't have
You say it.
Layla Hermosi and Alex Hermosi. I love their content, but they sit down. Layla Hermosi said she sits down, she has a content day. She sits down and shoots for 8 hours, right? And while she's running these companies and there are people running, we cannot look and compare at someone who's at this, they're at this particular height, and we're down and we're looking at our experience and saying, well, why should I even try? Because they're all the way up there. They weren't all the way up. They didn't start all the way up there. They started all the way down here. Do not despise the days of small beginnings, right? So that's what the Bible says. So it's just so important to be like, okay, woosah. It's a journey, and I'm here for the long haul, and it's okay. And every day, I'm moving towards my goal. I'm moving towards my goal. I'm getting pages done on my book, getting people on my email list, getting subscribers to the YouTube channel. I've been on this podcast, whatever, and we're just building. We're just building. We're just building. We're building, and we're going to be okay. So I think when people take that approach to their book, their business, and their brand, it'll be all right. We're all going to be okay.
Guys, do you see why I wanted to interview her? Guys, this shit, it's one thing when you work with somebody, and I say work with loosely, okay? Because Denise Renee is my sister and my friend. Just like how, like I tell you, just to watch her. So when I spend time with her, this is who she is behind cameras, because it's one thing to have someone, because that's what celebrities are paid to do, right? They're paid to perform. They're paid to show up a certain way, whatever they're being paid for, whether it's their personality. People like their personality, people like their style and the way they do things. They're getting paid for that theme of thing they do. But when cameras stop rolling, they often revert back to who they really are. So you don't know who you're going to get on what day of the week. I love the fact that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this is Denise Renee.
Well, there's a song from the 70s that goes, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
yeah, not you, look at you. Oh my gosh, not you going there. I cannot. Okay, this is not about to be a dance party for another hour. Look, giving Baptist preacher vibes when they be like, I'm going to sit down, I'm done, I'm not preaching no more. Then get back up and preach a whole nother hour.
But look, but you notice how those people, right? Those same celebrities, those same reality stars, if you wait long enough, you will begin to see who they really are, because who they really are gets exposed.
And we're watching that.
That's why I'm out here. I'm telling my tea. I'm telling my tea. I'm telling my tea myself.
Everywhere in this world. Everywhere.
And people are craving authenticity. People know that we're not all perfect all the time. Look, we go to work and we're like, hi, how are you? Yes. Da, da, da. Meanwhile, we cussing the customer out behind our head, right? We know that. So if we show that, we show the humanity, like, yes, here's my, my presentation with my makeup on. And then, you know what? Every now and then you might get a video without me, without my eyebrows doing it, because these are not my eyebrows. This is eyeliner. I mean, not eyeliner. This is a eyebrow pencil and some mascara, okay? Because these girls, they be like, oh, you want us to show up? So, every now and then, I might.
Adeline's on here, Denise Renee.
Hey, girl, I sent you a text the other day.
I need to interview her next.
Absolutely.
I need to interview Diana. There's a few of y'all I need to interview. Paulette preached about yesterday when I dropped her off, so I know it's a few of y'all I need to interview. Like,
absolutely.
I love that.
I know we could talk forever. We could talk forever.
We could, and it's so true. It's happening right now, and that's why when I get people who say to me, Nina, if publicity is so good and PR is so good, why are there so many scandals? And I'm going to tell you why right now.
Tell it.
Because you have publicists who care more about your coin than your character.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a result of that, they don't want you to feel any kind of conviction. They don't want you to check anything. They just want to cover and protect.
They're
and there's
fixers.
a difference between covering and ignoring. There is a difference.
They're Olivia Popes. They are Olivia Popes.
Yeah.
They're there to fix the situation in the public eye. And that's it. They don't care about your character.
They don't care. They don't care.
Or your mental.
They don't care who you're sliding into your room at the late night hour. They don't care what you're doing because they just want their check. They want their shopping spree. And what's happening is because there is no sense of accountability. No, they don't have your back. They don't tell you, I think, you know what? I'll never forget. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, me and my cousins, and we were downtown. I was a young adult, okay? My son was only 4 years old. He's 27, so this was 23 years ago, clearly. And we went downtown. I met Jazzy Faye. I met quite a few celebrities, and I was I had to use the bathroom so bad. I had been drinking way too much that night, okay? I had to use, I wasn't always saved. I was drinking so bad, like bad, okay? And I had to use the bathroom so bad. In this hotel, everywhere we went, everybody kept rejection. You can't come here because the hotels where we were, the ritzy area of the neighborhood, Peachtree and all those areas that you like, you got to have a key card or a password. They're very wealthy hotels. They wouldn't let you in. Sadly, but strategically, okay, but I lied and said, I'm a bride. I have an engagement and I'm trying to find a hotel that I can see about having my reception at. Can I please tour your hotel? Knowing I had to pee, right? Because I've been drinking too much. I went in there, and when I came out from the person let me in, I pretended to be, this is going to be a perfect site. This looks like this got the awesome space for, we're going to have 200 people, whatever. And I was looking so cute. So fresh, everything fit. Everything looked like it. I looked like it, smelled like it, like I was looking fancy. So after I came and handled everything, I came outside, and I'll never forget, Mike Tyson was out there.
Wow.
And Mike Tyson was out there, and boy, we got to talking it up. I had a good old time with Mike Tyson. He was so much sweeter than people said. He was so quiet. His voice was much deeper than people always clown him on TV. He was a cool dude. But guess what happened? His team was like, they saw Mike talking to me and my cousins, a bunch of young girls. His team came and snatched him up with the speed because they knew his name had been connected to so many, issues, rapes and all kinds of stuff. They did not want him to have any more issues happening. That's what people need. They need people on their side who are going to keep them from the mess, not just pay the bills while they are in it. But that's another talk for another time. I got PR stories like that for another talk for another time. How can people find you, and how could they work with you?
Best place to find me is at writingwithdeniserenee.com. writingwithdeniserenee.com. And if you're not ready to, inquire about services, what I do is I do book writing coaching and manuscript editing. I also do some content consulting as well, and some dumb for you content work. But if you're not ready to do that, then the best place to find me is on YouTube. So go to youtube.com and search at Writing with Denise Renee, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and that's linkedin.com/in/Writing with Denise Renee. So it's very easy to find me. I am on Instagram, so you can at Writing with Denise Renee. You can DM me there. But Facebook, not so much. Facebook is really, like I said, I keep that for just like family, friends, and people that I know in real life. So please don't reach out to me on Facebook. Please reach out to me on those other platforms. So that's how you can find me.
Well, I know I speak for myself and so many other people. Thank you for doing this. Thank you
for having me.
being here and letting me, because this was such an impromptu invite, guys. I asked her, I said, can I just pick your brain and just interview you in front of my friends tonight? And she did not give me, she just was like, you know what, let me look into this. And she was so immediate, and she's here tonight. And you guys learned so much. And I hope that you took notes, but even if you didn't, this replay will be up. You can come back to it, take notes and everything, because she gave you some stuff that you need to be considering. Don't just think about that one book and that one cell. You need to be thinking of the ecosystem around it, and that relationship building, getting the word out before the sale, getting the word out during and after, as well as she mentioned some things about emails and why it's important to think about that as well. She said that 1,000 core connections through her email list is better than 1 million people who are just vanity follows who will never ever buy from her.
That's
and
right.
So those are things that you really need to consider and think about. And Diane Fulmer, she does email marketing. She's beast mode when it comes to understanding the ins and outs of that. And she was on here commenting and supporting away, as she always does.
Thank you, Diane.
I had my first, I got a chance to present in front of Abby Peretz, and she's in Israel. And Diane, it was a relationship and a connection and a referral from Diane Fulmer that got me in front of somebody with an awesome audience. And here it is. Abby was in Israel, and she allowed me to come and present and to share my knowledge and expertise with her group. So I know what you're saying, and what you said tonight is so key and golden. And guys, I saw your comments when you said, yes, bring Denise Renee on for part 2. And that blessed me to hear that and to see those comments, because now it justifies me bringing her back. I promise you next time, we won't be maybe for 2 hours, okay? Because I do want to be considerate of your time. And I know sometimes, yeah, we did pretty much almost. I know people can, you see, if we were chilling at a restaurant, we'd be talking for 2 or 3 hours, right? They'll keep coming by, the server keep coming by. You need your check, y'all ready yet? They'll be dropping hints, like a shark. But people don't got the patience for online stuff. I don't know what's the difference. I don't know why people act like that. For me,
people do.
Well, I guess they do, maybe.
I watch videos or listen to videos 2 hours. I listened to the whole Shannon Sharp thing with Amanda Seales this morning. It's 3 hours.
I guess the most interesting. You know what? It's true when it comes to movies.
When you're interested, you'll watch the whole thing.
Yeah, this is true. Probably. I guess for me, I feel like even if they do watch it, I still want to be considerate of their time, because I know that for me, being a user and an end user, sometimes I'm not going to lie, unless it's a movie that I am that enthralled in, I won't always be the one to watch and endure. Not all the time, but however, there have been, like you said, I can agree and attest to that. There have been some videos that I have literally listened to and I've been locked in on, and I'm watching. Even if I pause and come back, I still watch it.
But it comes back to that whole piece about, I'm not worried about those who are not going to watch, a 2-hour video. I'm worried about those 2 people who will rock for the whole time. Because remember, online, right? Now it takes how many hours does someone need to be exposed to you in order to feel like they know you, like you, and trust you? You keep them engaged on the platform longer, that you keep them engaged with you longer.
See, this is where me and Denise Renee this is what I like about this. This is where we probably would disagree about this part.
Why?
You know what? In Proverbs, it talks about how when somebody outweighs their welcome, after a while, you need to put a boundary. So I guess in that sense, for me, I support and respect. I do agree.
I see both sides.
I do feel like people will be locked in. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I do feel also like, as a steward, it's my job to be considerate of my feelings toward, okay, what kind of experience do I want to create? But that's a fun thing. And maybe, guys, if y'all would like to see two opposing things, then let us know, because that might be fun for us to take good cop, bad cop mode on that conversation.
Or actually, for a second, for a round 2, I'd love to know what questions the audience has, so that we can address audience questions. So whatever questions you guys have about writing a book, building your brand, growing your audience, creating content, those are things that are my and storytelling. Those are things that are in my wheelhouse. So, and then just, if you just got other questions that, hey, what's your thoughts about XYZ? Oh, I got thoughts. I got thoughts. So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are, your questions are, and maybe we can like post this last piece as like just the last few minutes and just put that out as a short. So like, hey guys, you got questions? So we can, for part two, so those who may have missed it, they can get that. I'm sorry, I've been picking at my nails and this is terrible because like I still have some
Oh my
gel on from
gosh,
my
I can't
last
believe you
thing.
don't.
I
Y'all
know
don't know
I
this,
haven't
but
done my
if you
nails.
see Denise Renee's nails, she does her
I do
own
my own
nails.
nails, but I'm still picking this. And this is bad. I should not be picking
Oh,
it off, but I can't
oh
help it.
my gosh.
I
She
gotta
does
poke it
her
off.
own nails. She does music. Okay? Like she's just amazing. She's just
And these were cute too.
you got
But
she I will say this to you. When I was in Georgia, my pastor used to say to me, um, he would say, I won't bring any and everybody in front of you. I get it more than ever now.
mm,
I feel like sometimes you do bring people, not you, but meaning like people will bring people on their show
just
that
because
they
they have a
haven't truly
name,
vetted. And
right?
then their audience goes and follows that person.
And then you
And
find
good Lord,
out.
it's a
Then you find out,
that part.
girl,
But
girl.
with Denise Renee, you are in good hands. She cares about your success because she empathizes, she puts herself in your shoes. And not only that, she knows what it is to have a story, to have those moments where you don't feel worthy, to have writer's block. She knows what it is and she knows how to work with you to really let go of those old
Let it
ideas and to
go.
get a new
Let it
mind
go.
about your process. And also I told her, I said, what I love about, see, I'm doing the pastor thing, okay? I'm starting all over. This is what we do when we're not on camera. We do this even when we're not on camera, okay? And I will say this, okay, and then I'm gonna be done. But one of the things that she has a way of when she's working with you, spending time with you, she just draws out things that you didn't even know were there, things that you didn't know. You're thinking you're selling this, and she's seeing that you really can be leveraging and maximizing this over there. She's relatable in that story. She knows what it's like to have those conversations internally of thinking you're unworthy, of thinking there's nothing there. And not only that, but she will be the excellence you need to have. She is that for you. Sometimes we approach projects, we half-hearted because we don't even believe to begin with. We know the call is there, we know the conviction is there, but we've allowed ourselves to take too many hits and blows, and now we doubt that we have what it needs to stay the course and to move forward. And I love the fact that the way she's wired and designed, she has that ability to help you so that you see yourself in a new light, and now you have a new vigor and you approach it. And one thing I told her before, which is what I was hinting at a few minutes ago before I kind of lost my track, was that what people don't realize is this: putting your thoughts on paper is not just about you making something that you can sell for your business. It's being able to tap into what you already have in here. And one of the things God showed me recently is that a dream is sight without eyes, and that
Mm,
eyes are vehicles. The product is the image of the mind, right? But a lot of times, all of that is fuzzy, all of that is blocked. So we never document what is really golden, what is our hot thing, what thing really is going to move, going to serve, going to impact, going to bless. And she helps you learn processes that aren't just good for writing books, but also for how to create content, for how to know how to navigate things, how to document a conversation, how to get things out of you so that you can make the most of it and see it before your eyes. So I want to encourage you to really follow her on those channels, read that blog post, read it on LinkedIn. If not, then you'll see it on the comment section, but I'm really encouraging you to go to LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, subscribe to her newsletter because you cannot go wrong being in her hands. She will make sure you win and succeed with those goals, especially if you do the work. A lot of times we know stuff. I
But we don't do it.
guarantee you, if I come down the aisle, almost everybody on this video is an expert in some capacity. They just don't either believe they are, or they don't do the work of what they already know. Let's just be honest. So you need to do the work of what you know, and you need to do the work of what you learn. So apply what you learn from Denise Renee. Alrighty, guys.
Well, thank you. Before we go, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. You know, in 159,000 different ways, I appreciate you so much. I love you so much as my friend, as my sister, as my business bestie, one of my business besties. I got a couple. And Edeline is one of those business besties for me. But I really appreciate you, and to, just be so generous and share me with your audience. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
I
And I
believe
know you're the real deal.
I believe I will be in love.
We're not doing this. We said we wouldn't do it.
I keep trying. I got issues.
And I
got a song for everything too, so ridiculous. I'm so ridiculous. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay.
I love you guys. Good night, Denise Renee. I love you so
Good
much.
Night,
Thank you. Love you, Diane. Good night, guys. Love you, Ashley. Love you, Kathy, Brenda, Cheryl.
Thank you,
everybody who joined. Sean, everybody who
joined.
You. So many people who joined, and I didn't even get a chance to see your name. I glanced, but thank you for being here. Good night, guys.